Hello, and welcome to episode 1 of Almost No Talking Lessons. In this lesson, we're going to be going over Meeting of the Spirits by John McLaughlin, which is the first track off of the first Mahavishnu Orchestra album, The Intermounting Flame. Now, before we begin, I just want to mention that due to the relatively quick nature of this lesson, it's important that you have the song pretty well entrenched in your head. So before you even pick up the guitar, make sure that you've listened to it enough to the point where you can recognize each section and where these sections occur in the song as we cover them. So the track begins with these very dense, dissonant, and almost scary sounding chords. Some of these chords, as you will see, can be a little bit difficult to grab, but because they're played on cue as opposed to in time, it gives you a little bit more time to get your fingers in place before you have to play them. Also, though I've included a symbol for each chord, there are multiple ways these chords can be named, but since they don't really support the melody and aren't used for improvisation, I really wouldn't get too hung up on the names. I'll go through this section twice, once at a speed that's similar to what's found on the original recording, and then once a little bit slower. The time signature here is 6/4, but as I mentioned earlier, the chords are played on cue. Now let's take a look at some alternate voicings for a few of these chords that we just went over. You may find these easier to play. The big difference here is that these alternate voicings omit the root note of the chord, which you arguably don't really need to play as a guitarist since the bass and keyboards would be covering them anyway. Continuing on with the intro, the track is brought up to tempo with an arpeggiated chord ostinato. Again, I'll play this section twice, once at tempo, which is about 176 BPM, and then I'll play it at half speed. As you can see, I used a little bit more of a classically influenced left-hand fingering here, but if you prefer and if it's more comfortable for you, you can use your thumb like so. Additionally, you can play the last note of each bar, the low E in this case, as a pull-off instead of picking it. You may end up liking the sound of this better, although in my opinion, it kind of messes up the right-hand picking pattern. Now comes the melody, which is mercifully the easiest part of the song. Since it's pretty straightforward, I'll just play it once at full tempo. Now comes the guitar solo. For the sake of brevity, I'm not including it in this lesson, but you can always just do what John McLaughlin did and play F sharp minor pentatonic in the most unhinged way possible, and that'll get you in the ballpark. In addition to F sharp minor pentatonic, you can also play F sharp Phrygian, G Lydian, B harmonic minor, or you can just play in D major, and that should give you enough harmonic content to build your solo. After the guitar solo, the melody repeats again, and on the last time through, the band launches into this unison line that leads us to the interlude section between the solos. Again, I'll play this once to tempo, and then once at half speed. Finally, we have the unison line played by the guitar and violin in the background of the keyboard solo. So that's it. We've covered all of the different sections of Meeting of the Spirits. I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I just want to mention that I do have other Mahavishnu Orchestra lessons in the works, as well as other lessons for a variety of different artists. So please be sure to subscribe so that you can be notified when those are available. Thank you.